Live, local, now. This is WIS News 10.
Happy New Year's Eve, and thanks for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Chad Mills. First at 6, we're taking you on a trip to Glendale, Arizona, where the Clemson Tigers will go head-to-head tonight with the Ohio State Buckeyes in the Fiesta Bowl. Both teams looking for a chance to play for a national championship. WIS's Joe Gorcho is live inside the University of Phoenix Stadium with how the fans are setting the atmosphere. Joe.
Chad, first of all, this atmosphere inside University of Phoenix Stadium is amazing as we approach kickoff. It just continues to grow. You can feel the energy and the excitement building as we get closer to this duel in the desert. Now, you might be wondering why I'm wearing these Buckeye beads. Well, while at the Fiesta Bowl Fan Fest earlier today, I had the opportunity to run into some of Jay Guillermo's family. His uncle is from Hawaii. He gifted me these beads for good luck. Well, the Guillermo family certainly hopeful the good fortune continues for the Tigers tonight.
Woo! Aloha! Hawaii! Woo! I am here to support the Clemson Tigers and give the aloha to my grandnephew. Hashtag 57 Guillermo.
The Guillermo clan cheering in full force in Arizona. Jay's dad, Jamie, is so proud of his son, who overcame a battle with depression to flourish as a Tiger his senior season.
Not even sure how to express how much he's gone through, but he's had so much success. He's just amazing to us that he went from where he was to get back to where he is now.
Where he is now, back with the Tigers on a return trip to the desert for the second time this year. The first trip resulted in a loss in the national title game.
We're ready to rock and roll. Go Tigers, Happy New Year. Woo!
Clemson fans still fever-pitched in Arizona at Fan Fest. A sea of OSU red and Clemson orange filled the venue. Fans playing cornhole, even some Jenga, and bouncing around in a play area. Plenty of fun and enthusiasm on display from these passionate fans.
Better fan base? Oh, easily. OHIO, the Buckeyes, all day. Buckeyes, best fan base in the nation.
Our fans are the loudest fans you'll ever see. We bring it.
It was a fiesta before the Fiesta Bowl outside the stadium. To my surprise, though, I found a couple Gamecock fans in Arizona here to cheer against Clemson. Josh, a senior at USC, comes to the Fiesta Bowl every year with his dad. It just so happens this time he can root against his rival.
There's no room for me to taunt, so I'm not going to taunt. I don't expect them to say anything, actually. I feel like they'll feel bad for me, but I'm proud. I'm proud, no matter what.
And so are the Tigers fans, roaring for a Clemson victory.
Fight Tigers, fight Tigers, fight, fight, fight! Woo!
And the Tigers fans are on the feet as we speak. As the Tigers, I believe, are on the field. The band is playing. The crowd's going crazy. They're all excited for this return trip back to the desert, Chad. They were here back in January for the national championship game. They left disappointed. They're hoping tonight to leave smiling and to ring in the new year with a chance to win a national championship. Live from Glendale, Arizona, ahead of the Fiesta Bowl, Joe Gorcho, WIS News 10.
Great stuff there, Joe. We will see you again at 11 o'clock, and hope you have some good news for us then. New at 6, Richland County deputies are looking for the person they say stabbed a man last night. The victim told officials it happened in an open field not too far from his home on Oakland Avenue. Deputies were called to the victim's home. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. If you know anything that could help investigators, they want you to call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Well, New Year's Eve, which means a lot of people probably wondering if the weather's going to cooperate tonight, Vaughn.
That's right. The out-the-door forecast is probably the most important thing that folks want to know right now. So let's get you out there and get you enjoying whatever celebration you plan to go to tonight. Look at the numbers. You notice that we're pretty much stuck in the 40s. Well, that'll be the case. We will be stuck in at least the upper 40s. I do believe we'll drop to the middle 40s by the time we get to tomorrow morning. But here's the weather story. Yes, rain is nearby. Some of you have already reported seeing some light rain across the area. If you've been out and about this morning, I'm sure you noticed that through the course of of the day. The lighter rain, misty drizzle, but that's about it. No heavy rain, nothing that really should stop you from enjoying your outdoor plans and festivities. Just grab the jacket, grab a light umbrella, perhaps a raincoat, and get out there and enjoy. We do still have some pockets of light rain that will continue. I'll give you an hour-by-hour forecast coming up so that you can really see what's going to happen. But the temperatures will be huge for us tonight. So 48 degrees is where we are right now in Columbia, 47 Lexington, 44 in North. Factor in winds coming in at about 3 miles per hour in Lexington, mainly from the north, from the south, and then 5 miles per hour for you in Columbia, 12 miles per hour over in Saluda. That gives you a real field temperature that actually takes the temperature down about 2 or 3 degrees. So there is some factor with that wind blowing out there. Now, for those of you heading out, expect temperatures to go down to about 45 by tomorrow morning. Misty drizzle and clouds will be in place through the course of the evening. 59 for you tomorrow with rain ongoing, and then we'll have periods of rain as we head into tomorrow night as well. I'll talk a little more about what you can expect heading into the brand new year coming up in just a few minutes, Chad.
All right, Vaughn, thanks. Tonight, Columbia is the place to be in the Palmetto State as we bring in the new year. Louisiana royalty trombone Shorty will highlight tonight's famously hot New Year's Eve party. Little taste for you right there. The main stage is practically right outside the WIS studios on the corner of Gervais and Sumter Streets. That's where we find our Caroline Patrickis with a preview of tonight's party. Caroline.
Well, Chad, here we are, New Year's Eve, right? Finally, the day is here, right? And the famously hot New Year's Eve preparations are underway. Of course, if you look behind me, you won't really see too many people in the streets right now. And that's because the gates don't open until a little bit under 30 minutes. So when those gates open, of course, we'll expect some crowds. The scene will be much different than it is now. Now, last year, if you'll know, they had 28,000 people join the event. Of course, this year they're expecting a little bit bigger of a crowd, and we know that because they've extended the perimeter here this evening. And actually, they've moved the stage back to Gervais and Sumter. That's right behind us. Speaking of stage, a couple of bands are going to be taking over tonight, and we caught up with one of them in our studio earlier this morning, and I want you to take a listen because they did give us a little piece of what they're going to do tonight. Of course, the Capital City Playboys, they are a local rock band, and this will be their first time performing here tonight at the famously hot New Year's Eve event. But with a crowd of more than 30,000 people, just how do they prepare for such a big audience?
The biggest thing is rehearsals. You know what I mean? We've all been musicians for a long time. I mean, each of us over 20 years. So Kevin's actually a full-time musician. That's his full-time thing. So rehearsals, but also planning, trying to figure out the pacing of the set and make sure the energy's there, and just a lot of prep and a lot of practice.
And speaking of preps, we just saw Columbia Police doing a security sweep here this evening before the event gets rolling. Of course, also, as you noted earlier, Trombone Shorty will be taking the stage, and also Sister Hazel. So some big names here tonight. And Columbia Police told us earlier in the week that they are ready for anything that may come out of the evening. But again, the gates open in just under 30 minutes, and Chad will be out here all night keeping you updated. I'll send things back to you in the studio.
Appreciate it, Caroline. That's the music. But one of the best parts of the famously hot New Year's Eve is the fireworks show, which is the biggest display on New Year's Eve in the Carolinas. Palmetto Weekend producer Ryan Berge gives us a preview of how it all comes together.
Ryan Mathis, I'm with Pyrotechnico, and we are setting up the famously hot fireworks for New Year's Eve. My job is to build the show at our facility and get it out here where we set up all the equipment and then load the shells and then wait till midnight and our cue and to fire it off. The size caliber that we range from are 3-inch shells to 4-inch shells to 5-inch shells. We have all those different size caliber shells, but we also have so many different effects between all the different shells, going from like crown bouquets to regular chrysanthemums to rings to different color pistols. Just so many different types of effects and colors. We have what we're called modules that we take some wire that has an explosive bit of compound at the end and plug the explosive bit of compound to the shell and plug that into the module, and then a large cable runs from those modules to our firing panel, which will electronically set it off at specific times and points. One of the biggest things with the show is always the finale. There's going to be around 700 shells going on for around a minute. It's one of the longest finales that I ever enjoy working with, and it always gets me really pumped at the end of the show.
Good stuff there. If you can't make it downtown tonight and still want to watch the display, just head over to our Facebook page, Palmetto Weekend. We'll be live streaming the fireworks from the roof here at WIS. Next at 6, Vaughn Gaskin has your forecast right after this break.